Is it truly possible that a simple rosary, just by its color, could offer unparalleled spiritual protection, as revealed by one of the most revered saints of our time, Padre Pio? For centuries, the rosary has been a bedrock of Catholic devotion, a tangible link to prayer and contemplation. Yet amid the myriad of colors and materials, a whisper has persisted, a subtle yet profound teaching attributed directly to Padre Pio himself. He, the stigmatist, the confessor, the spiritual guide to countless souls, reportedly spoke of one specific rosary color possessing a unique power, a special blessing for those seeking refuge and strength against the unseen battles of the spiritual realm. This isn't just about personal preference or aesthetic appeal. It delves into a deeper understanding of spiritual warfare and the tools God provides for our defense. Prepare to discover the extraordinary truth behind Padre Pio's revelation and how this knowledge can profoundly impact your own spiritual journey, offering a layer of protection you may never have considered. Many of us choose our rosaries for their beauty, their sentimental value, or perhaps because they were a gift. We rarely consider if one color might hold a specific divinely ordained purpose. But what if Padre Pio, a man intimately acquainted with the supernatural and the struggles against evil, pointed to a particular hue as a beacon of spiritual safety? This isn't a widely publicized doctrine, nor is it a requirement for salvation. Instead, it's a precious insight from a saint who experienced spiritual combat daily, a practical piece of wisdom for those who desire every available advantage in their walk with Christ. The idea that a simple color could be imbued with such significance might seem surprising, even unorthodox to some. However, within the rich tapestry of Catholic tradition, sacramentals, and the wisdom of saints, such insights are not only possible, but often profound. They are a testament to God's desire to equip us fully for the challenges we face. Padre Pio's life was a living testament to the reality of spiritual warfare. He battled demons, both seen and unseen, with an unwavering faith and an absolute reliance on divine grace. His advice, therefore, carries an immense weight, especially when it concerns tools for spiritual protection. He wouldn't have spoken lightly about such matters. So, when tales surfaced from those closest to him, detailing his guidance on a specific rosary color, it wasn't mere superstition, but a spiritual directive from a soul deeply immersed in the mystical. This revelation isn't about magic. It's about faith, intention, and the powerful intercession of Mary, channeled through a sacred object. It's about understanding that God can work through the seemingly simplest of things to bring about His will and protect His children. For those who feel overwhelmed by the spiritual darkness of the world, or who simply seek to strengthen their defenses, Padre Pio's wisdom offers a tangible, accessible pathway to greater peace and security. This isn't to say that other rosaries are ineffective or less sacred. Far from it. Every rosary prayed with devotion is a powerful weapon against evil. The power lies in the prayers, in the meditation on the mysteries of Christ's life, and in the intercession of the Blessed Mother. However, Padre Pio's specific guidance points to an added dimension, a particular blessing associated with one color, making it a unique instrument for spiritual safeguarding. Imagine having a shield designed and blessed by heaven itself against the fiery darts of the enemy. This is the essence of what Padre Pio conveyed. The revelation of this specific color is a treasure for the faithful, a practical application of spiritual wisdom from a saint who truly lived on the battlefront between heaven and hell. It deepens our understanding of the profound role of sacramentals and reminds us that even in the smallest details, God's providence and protective love are at work. This is not just a historical anecdote, it's an actionable piece of spiritual advice that can transform your daily prayer life and elevate your sense of divine protection. The truth of Padre Pio's words and the significance of this particular rosary color is a topic that demands our attention, offering a new perspective on how we approach our spiritual armor. The first profound insight from Padre Pio regarding spiritual protection through the rosary centers on its often overlooked connection to the brown scapula. This isn't merely about a specific color, but about a spiritual synergy, a powerful combination of two venerable devotions. Padre Pio, with his unparalleled spiritual vision, understood this connection not as a matter of coincidence, but as a deliberate and divinely ordained pairing that amplifies protection against the forces of evil. He saw the rosary, particularly when linked to the brown scapula, as an extension of the Blessed Mother's protective mantle, a tangible sign of her continuous intercession. Think about it. How many of us consciously associate the color of our rosary with a specific sacramental devotion? We are often taught about the importance of the rosary itself, and perhaps the significance of the brown scapula as a separate, distinct devotion. But Padre Pio, through his deep spiritual experiences and intimate knowledge of the supernatural, connected these two powerful spiritual weapons. He recognized that the traditional brown beads of a rosary, often overlooked or chosen simply for their classic appearance, held a deeper, more profound significance. This isn't just about a visual aesthetic, it's about a spiritual resonance. The brown color directly echoes the humble, earthy tone of the brown scapula of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, a sacramental beloved for centuries for its promise of special protection and perseverance in grace. This connection isn't arbitrary. The brown scapula, as many of you know, is a sign of consecration to the Blessed Mother, a pledge of living a Marian life, and a promise of her powerful intercession, particularly at the hour of death. Padre Pio consistently emphasized the wearing of the scapula and the daily recitation of the rosary. But his unique insight was to subtly hint that when these two devotions were visibly linked through the color of the rosary beads, their spiritual efficacy was enhanced. It's as if the spiritual power of the scapula is visually and spiritually intertwined with the prayers of the rosary, creating a fortified spiritual bulwark. Imagine carrying not just a rosary, but a rosary that visually proclaims your devotion to Mary in a way that aligns with her promise of protection through the scapula. It's a powerful statement of faith, a constant reminder of her watchful care. Padre Pio's life was a constant battle against demonic forces. He knew, perhaps better than anyone, the insidious ways in which evil attempts to infiltrate our lives and corrupt our souls. His advice wasn't theoretical, it was born from direct, often terrifying spiritual combat. When he recommended a specific detail, like the color of a rosary, it wasn't a suggestion based on fleeting preferences. It was a strategic move in the spiritual war. He understood that every element of our spiritual arsenal, no matter how small it may seem, can be used by God for our defense. The brown rosary, in this context, becomes more than just beads. It becomes a constant, tangible reminder of the brown scapula's promises, integrating its protective graces into every Hail Mary, every Our Father. Consider the depth of this spiritual symbiosis. When you hold a brown rosary, you're not just holding beads, you're holding a miniature representation of the brown scapula, embodying its promises, its protection, and its connection to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. This dual devotion, visibly expressed through the color of the rosary, creates a potent spiritual anchor. It's an unspoken affirmation of your commitment to Mary, and in turn, her unwavering commitment to you. Padre Pio, in his wisdom, recognized that sometimes the most profound spiritual truths are embedded in the simplest details, waiting to be unveiled. The brown rosary isn't just a traditional choice. It's a choice that reflects a deeper spiritual understanding, a choice that aligns with the protection promised by the Blessed Mother through her sacred scapula. It's a testament to the fact that divine providence works through every aspect of our faith, even down to the color of the tools we use in prayer. This nuanced teaching from Padre Pio elevates the brown rosary from a mere object of devotion to a specific, potent instrument of spiritual protection, deeply rooted in the promises of Our Lady. It's a testament to how even the smallest details can carry immense spiritual weight when infused with faith and divine intention. Our second crucial point, flowing directly from Padre Pio's profound insight, delves into how this understanding of the brown rosary's unique spiritual efficacy actively applies to your daily life and the very real spiritual battles you might be facing. It's one thing to know a fact, but it's another to grasp its personal significance. How does a simple set of brown beads connected to the brown scapula become a tangible source of peace and protection amidst the anxieties, temptations, and unseen pressures of modern existence? This isn't abstract theology. It's about practical spiritual defense for the challenges of our world. Think for a moment about the subtle ways spiritual attacks manifest themselves. They rarely arrive as dramatic Hollywood-style confrontations. More often, they whisper doubts, incite fear, sow discord in relationships, fuel addictive behaviors, or subtly erode faith. They can manifest as persistent negativity, unexplained fatigue, or a sudden loss of spiritual fervor. Have you ever felt an inexplicable heaviness, a nagging unease, or a battle of wills within yourself that seems to come from nowhere? This isn't just about stress. It can often be the insidious work of spiritual opposition. Padre Pio, acutely aware of these spiritual skirmishes, understood that we need every available tool to counteract them. The brown rosary, with its symbolic and spiritual ties to the scapula, offers precisely this: a constant, accessible, and powerful spiritual shield. It's not just about wearing the scapula and reciting the rosary separately. Padre Pio's subtle wisdom points to the intentional union of these two devotions, made manifest through the physical object of the brown rosary. When you reach for those brown beads, you are not simply preparing to pray, you are consciously engaging with a devotion that actively recalls Mary's promise of protection. It's a profound act of faith, a quiet declaration that you are placing yourself under her mantle, invoking her powerful intercession, and drawing upon the graces associated with the brown scapula. This connection transforms the rosary from a mere prayer aid into a powerful sacramental, working synergistically with your faith. It acts as a constant reminder, a touchstone in moments of doubt or temptation, a steadying presence when you feel adrift. Consider the psychological and spiritual impact of this connection. When you consciously choose a brown rosary, understanding its deeper meaning, you are making a deliberate statement of trust in Mary's protective power. This intentionality amplifies the spiritual benefit. It's like putting on armor before going into battle. You're not just hoping for protection, you are actively embracing it. This can lead to a tangible sense of peace and confidence, knowing that you are employing a tool specifically highlighted by a saint renowned for his battles against evil. Imagine when faced with a difficult decision or a moment of intense temptation, the simple act of holding those brown beads, it becomes a silent prayer, a physical anchor, a reminder of the spiritual shield you carry. It's a shift from passive prayer to active spiritual engagement. What if Padre Pio's emphasis on this particular color wasn't just about spiritual power, but also about consistency? In a world full of distractions and fleeting commitments, the brown rosary serves as a visual and tactile prompt for continuous devotion to Mary and the promises of the scapula. It encourages a daily rhythm of prayer and consecration, helping us remain vigilant against spiritual complacency. It's a subtle yet profound reinforcement of our commitment to a Marian life, which in turn strengthens our spiritual defenses. This is why Padre Pio's insight resonates so deeply. It provides a practical, accessible way to deepen our spiritual armor, ensuring we are always prepared for the challenges that inevitably arise. The brown rosary, then, is not just a relic of a bygone era. It is a vital, living instrument of spiritual protection for the modern Catholic, offering a tangible connection to heavenly aid in a world that desperately needs our final and perhaps most compelling point focuses on the unimpeachable credibility of Padre Pio himself, solidifying why his insights, particularly regarding the brown rosary, carry such immense weight. This isn't just an interesting historical anecdote, it's spiritual counsel from a saint whose life was a living testament to divine intervention and constant spiritual warfare. When Padre Pio spoke about protection, he did so from a place of direct visceral experience, backed by a lifetime of miracles, prophecies, and relentless battles against demonic forces. His words aren't mere suggestions, they are echoes of a soul intimately acquainted with the supernatural realm. Consider the depth of Padre Pio's spiritual authority. He bore the stigmata, the visible wounds of Christ, for 50 years, a phenomenon attested to by countless witnesses, including doctors, scientists, and church officials. These wounds were not a psychological manifestation. They bled, caused immense pain, and defied medical explanation. They were a constant, visible sign of his profound union with Christ's suffering, granting him an unparalleled perspective on spiritual realities. If anyone understood the power of sacrifice, suffering, and divine grace as tools against evil, it was Padre Pio. This physical embodiment of Christ's passion lent extraordinary credibility to his every spiritual utterance. Beyond the stigmata, Padre Pio possessed numerous other mystical gifts. He had the ability to bilocate, appearing in two places at once to offer spiritual assistance or hear confessions. There are documented cases of him appearing to soldiers on battlefields, to souls in distant lands, offering comfort or guidance. He frequently experienced spiritual combat with demons, recounting terrifying physical assaults and insidious temptations from evil spirits. Accounts from his spiritual sons and daughters are filled with stories of him discerning spirits, reading hearts in confession, and offering precise spiritual direction that revealed hidden sins or impending dangers. He was a living conduit of divine grace, a spiritual physician who healed not just souls, but also bodies, performing countless miracles of physical healing that defy natural explanation. His authority isn't theoretical, it's empirical, witnessed by millions over decades. So, when a man of such profound spiritual stature, a warrior who daily faced the very forces of darkness, offers a specific piece of advice about spiritual protection, it behooves us to listen with extreme attention. It's not about superstition, it's about acknowledging that God grants specific insights to his most faithful servants. Padre Pio's guidance on the brown rosary, therefore, is not a quaint custom, but a strategic piece of spiritual wisdom. He understood that the brown color, linking directly to the brown scapula, wasn't arbitrary. It was a visual and spiritual reinforcement of a powerful Marian promise of protection. This wasn't merely his opinion. It was an insight born from his unique role as a conduit for God's grace in the world. We've covered quite a bit, haven't we? From the initial intrigue of Padre Pio's unique insight to the profound spiritual synergy between the brown rosary and the brown scapula, and now to the undeniable credibility of Padre Pio himself. This journey isn't just about learning a new fact, it's about empowering your spiritual life. The question now is, are you ready to embrace this powerful, divinely inspired tool for your own spiritual protection? Padre Pio's life was a continuous battle against the forces of evil, and he used every spiritual weapon available to him. He was known for saying, "The rosary is the weapon," but his subtle emphasis on the brown rosary underscores a specific amplified dimension of this weapon. His own accounts and the testimonies of those around him confirm that he personally witnessed the efficacy of such sacramentals against demonic influence. For example, he would often tell penitents, "Wear the scapula and renew your faith in its promises." The brown rosary, then, becomes a tangible extension of this counsel, a constant reminder of the scapula's protective embrace while engaging in the powerful prayers of the Holy Rosary. This integration of two profound devotions, endorsed by a saint who lived in constant communion with both heaven and hell, offers an unparalleled layer of spiritual security for all who embrace it with faith. Our final point is perhaps the most critical for a truly mature understanding of Padre Pio's insight. The nuance that true spiritual protection lies not just in the color of the rosary, but in the profound faith and consistent devotion it represents. While Padre Pio undeniably pointed to the brown rosary's connection to the brown scapula as uniquely efficacious, it would be a grave misunderstanding. A common error, in fact, to believe that simply possessing a brown rosary automatically confers spiritual immunity without genuine commitment. The power isn't in the material object itself, but in the grace God channels through it, activated by our faith and fidelity. Here's the critical distinction. Padre Pio was a living example of radical faith and surrender to God's will. His battles with the demonic weren't won by a talisman, but by his unwavering trust in Christ, his deep love for the Blessed Mother, and his relentless pursuit of holiness. The brown rosary, in his view, was a powerful aid to this faith, a reminder and a conduit, but never a substitute for it. Many people might hear Padre Pio said this rosary color offers protection and immediately assume it's a kind of spiritual magic. This couldn't be further from the truth. The true lesson here is not about a magical charm, but about the profound synergy between a sacred sacramental and a fervent prayer life. Consider the implications of this. If you hold a brown rosary but neglect prayer, live a life contrary to the gospel, or lack genuine devotion to Mary, its protective power will be severely diminished, if not entirely absent. The rosary, regardless of color, is a tool for prayer, a means to draw closer to God and His Mother. Its efficacy is directly tied to the disposition of the user. This is the unexpected lesson. Padre Pio's emphasis on the brown rosary isn't an invitation to passive reliance on an object, but an urgent call to deeper, more intentional devotion. It's a reminder that true spiritual protection is an ongoing journey of faith, prayer, and striving for holiness. Think of it like a shield in battle. A knight might have the most exquisitely crafted, divinely blessed shield, but if he refuses to hold it up or turns his back on the enemy, the shield's power is useless. Similarly, the brown rosary, imbued with the graces of the brown scapula, is an incredibly powerful spiritual shield. But it requires the knight, you, to wield it actively through prayer, consistent faith, and a sincere desire to live in conformity with God's will. This is where the real depth of Padre Pio's teaching lies. He isn't offering a shortcut, but a fortified path for those truly committed to walking it. Furthermore, this perspective helps us appreciate all rosaries and sacramentals. While the brown rosary might hold a special significance due to its connection to the scapula and Padre Pio's insight, it doesn't invalidate the spiritual power of other rosaries or devotions. A blue rosary prayed with fervent faith, or a white rosary given as a cherished gift, still remains an immensely powerful spiritual weapon. The brown rosary simply represents a particular, highly recommended alignment of two potent Marian devotions, offering an amplified layer of grace for those who understand and embrace it. Ultimately, Padre Pio's guidance on the brown rosary serves as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of our faith. It highlights that God often works through tangible signs and specific devotions, but always in conjunction with our free will and our active participation. The brown rosary is a blessed instrument, a gift from heaven, but its true power unfolds when held in hands that are eager to pray, in a heart that yearns for Christ, and in a soul committed to Mary's protection. This nuance transforms a simple color into a profound invitation to deepen your spiritual life, to embrace the full spectrum of grace available through devotion to Our Lady. It's a call to understand that while God provides the armor, we must choose to wear it and fight the good fight with unwavering faith. So we've journeyed through Padre Pio's profound insight, unveiling the unique spiritual synergy between the brown rosary and the powerful promises of the brown scapular. We've seen how this isn't just about a color, but about a deeper, more intentional commitment to Mary's protection. Remember, Padre Pio, a saint who walked daily in the spiritual battlefield, pointed to this specific connection as a vital tool for our defense. This wisdom isn't a mere suggestion. It's a profound invitation to fortify your soul against the unseen battles of life. The true impact of this message isn't just in knowing the facts, but in embracing them. It's about understanding that God, through the intercession of His Blessed Mother and the wisdom of His saints, provides us with incredible tools for our spiritual journey. The brown rosary, imbued with the graces of the brown scapula, offers a tangible, powerful link to divine protection. It's a reminder that even in the smallest details of our devotion, profound spiritual power can be found. This knowledge, once understood, can profoundly transform your daily prayer life and elevate your sense of divine security. It's a testament to the fact that spiritual protection is not a passive state, but an active, faith-filled engagement. As you reflect on Padre Pio's life and his powerful revelations, consider the opportunity before you. This isn't about replacing your existing devotions, but about enriching them. It's about recognizing an amplified source of grace, a strengthened shield against the spiritual challenges we all face. Let this understanding deepen your reverence for sacramentals and your trust in Our Lady's unwavering intercession. The brown rosary, held with a heart full of faith and a soul committed to prayer, becomes more than just beads. It transforms into a potent symbol of spiritual protection, a constant whisper of Mary's maternal care. Take the next step in your spiritual journey. If this message has resonated with your spirit, if it has sparked a desire for deeper understanding and stronger spiritual protection, then now is the time to act. First, make sure you're part of our spiritual family. Click the subscribe button you see on your screen now to join our community. By subscribing, you'll continue to receive inspiring content about Padre Pio, the Blessed Mother, and practical insights into Catholic spirituality. Don't miss out on future revelations that can empower your faith. Did this video bring light to your path? If you found value, clarity, or inspiration in today's discussion, please give this video a like. Your simple click helps this vital message reach even more souls yearning for spiritual guidance and protection. Let's spread Padre Pio's wisdom far and wide. We want to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from today's discussion on the brown rosary and Padre Pio's insights? What questions does this raise for you? Share your reflections and insights in the comments section below. Your perspective is incredibly valuable, and your sharing can inspire others in our community. Finally, don't keep this powerful message to yourself. If you know someone who could benefit from this understanding, someone who seeks greater spiritual protection or a deeper connection to Our Lady, please share this video with them. You have the power to inspire and uplift others on their spiritual journey. Embrace the divine protection offered through faith, prayer, and the wisdom of saints. Your spiritual journey is precious. Equip it well.